Om Namo Narayani. Good morning, good evening to all of us who are joining, wherever we are joining in from. Today is our week 36th class, and we will be looking at Sri Lalitha Narayani's names from 243 to 249. Let us begin with our prayers. Om Jnana-rūpāya vidmahi Shakti-amsāya dhīmahi Tanno Shakti-amma prachodayāt. Om Jnana-rūpāya vidmahi Shakti-amsāya dhīmahi Tanno Shakti-amma prachodayāt. Om Jnana-rūpāya vidmahi Shakti-amsāya dhīmahi Tanno Shakti-amma prachodayāt. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Namo Narayani. Om Gam Ganapatay Namaha. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhyanam Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Maulispurat Taranayaka Shikharam Smita-mukhi mapina vakshuruham Panibhyam alipurna ratna chashakam Raktotpalam bibratim Saumyam ratna ghatastha rakta charanam Dhyayit paramambikam Dhyayit padmasanastham Vikasita vadanam Padmapatra yatakshim Hemabham pitavastram karakalitalasath Hema padmam varangim Sarvalankara yuktam satatam abhayatam Bhaktanam ram bhavanim Shri vidyam shantamurtim Sakala suranutam Sarva sampat pradatrim Sakumkuma vilepanam alika chumbi kasturikam Samanda hasite kshanam Sachara chapa pasankusham Vasesha janamohini marunamalya bhushojjvalam Japa kusuma bhasuram Japavidhau smaredambikam Arunam karunatarangitakshim Dhrutapasankusapushpabanachapam Animadhibhiravratam mayukhairahamityeva Vibhavaye Mahisim. Om Aim Hrim Shreem Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Let's start with her 243rd name. Om Shri cāru-candra-kalā namah swaha. Om Shri Cāru-candra-kalā namah swaha. Om Shri cāru-candra-kalā namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Shri Cāru-candra-kalā namah swaha. Om Shri Cāru-candra-kalā namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who's wearing the beautiful crescent moon that is not wax or wane. Cāru we saw is beautiful, very beautiful. Chandra is sun. Candra-kalā is a part of it, so it is the crescent moon. Dhara, she is adorning herself, she is wearing it. And the kalā here, the crescent moon that is mentioned here, even though it doesn't specifically say it, it is inherent in the meaning that it is a crescent moon that is not in the waxing or the waning phase of the moon that we see on Mother Earth, but the moon, the crescent moon she has is a full embodiment of all the parts in it, and it is her beauty that adorns her. So last few names we saw her: Charu-rūpāyai, Charu-hāsāyai, Charu-candra-kalā dharāyai. She wears the most beautiful crescent moon. She is adorned with it. And the moon has so many features to it. The colors are like each crescent aspect has its so many subtle meanings to it, and all of them are adorning her. Her 244th name. Om Shri carācara-jagan nāthāyai namah swaha. Om Shri carācara-jagan nāthāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Shri carācara-jagan nāthāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Shri carācara-jagan nāthāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who's the queen ruling over all the sentient and insentient beings, the whole of the animate and the inanimate worlds, all the worlds. So chara, achara, it is the moving and the not moving. And so the creation is composed of, with life, the animate ones, and without life, the inanimate ones. Those that can feel, who have feelings, sentient, and those that can move, those that cannot move. And Jagam is the entire world, all the worlds, the creation, whole Jagat. Nāthāyai, Natha is the Lord, the ruler. So she is the one who rules all the animate, the inanimate, all the sentient, the insentient, the whole of all the creations, the entire worlds, all the worlds. And carācara comes very often in many other, in songs, bhajans, in other descriptions, we would come across this word. And one of the common names we use for Balaji Vishnu is Venkatachalam. And Venkatachalam, because he's on that mountain that is it doesn't move. So the Achalam is that immovable. And you will, if now that you know the root word for carācara, Achalam, chara, they are like same root etymology. So you will be able to relate to it when we hear the word. It is like the moving and the non-moving. And all that Jagat, the whole creation, she is the ruler for that. Her 245th name, Om Shri cakra-raja-nikētanāyai namah swaha. 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 Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who has her abode in the Chakra Raja, the Srichakra. Chakra Raja, among the whole, all the chakras, the Chakra Raja is the Srichakra. And Nikētana, the Nikētan, like we say Kamala Nivas, Nivas is again place where one resides, stays. Bhavan is a place of staying. Like that, Nikētan is also a place to say, that place of abode, staying. And some of the places, one of the well-known ones in India is called Shanti-Niketan, where Tagore, the poet who won the Nobel Prize, his school is called Shanti-Niketan, the abode of peace. So anywhere, any Niketan is a place of residence, a place that it stays, one resides. And she, Sri Lalitha Narayani, her Niketan is the Chakra Raja, the Sri Chakra. And Sri Chakra equates to Sri Vidya. So the whole of the creation we saw all the deities and all the powers and all of evolution, creation. The whole thing is in the Srichakra. And the two-dimensional is the Srichakra yantra, and the three-dimensional one with all the things that if you see it, it's all like built up like in a four-sided, like a pyramid, but it is four-sided, and it is with so many of those inundations. You'll see these are all the different triangles, the sacred geometry incorporated in that to the 9th level, all the way. Each level we saw Nava, Varna, all the 9 levels goes up, and each level has its deities, square with concentric circles and triangles, and each of the geometric shape. Sacred geometry has so much of, it contains the entire wisdom, the knowledge of entirety of creation, and it is all her, all the way up to the Bindu, the center. So the Srichakra is a huge, huge, huge topic that people spend lifetimes just mastering, the understanding the Chakra Raja, Srichakra. And the Srichakras, she's also called by all these names. When they say Lalita, Lalita Tripura Sundari, we saw Maharagni, her second name was Om Śreem Maharagnyai namah swaha. She's that supreme ruler, the empress, and Raja-Rajeshwari. She is like the empress amongst any emperor, any queen, any ruler, and she is the Raja-Rajeshwari. She is the queen, the king of the entire realm of all rulers. She is the most supreme. And the Srichakra is her abode. Her 246th name. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Om Shri. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is Parvati. One of the many names for her is Parvati. And Parvati is the one who is the daughter of the Parvata Raja. And Parvata means the mountains. And the king of all the mountains is Parvata Raja. Raja is king. And the daughter of Parvata Raja is Parvati. And who is the Parvata Raja? And Himalayas, Himavan is his name. And Himalayas is the king of all the mountains, the greatest mountains among all the mountains. And the mountain, the ruler of that is Himavan. And he's the Parvata Raja among all the Parvatams. And she is Parvati. So any mountainous region, anything born from the mountain is related to Parvati. Another name for her is Shailaja, born of the mountain. She's from that. And again, you'd have heard of one of the remedies that's medicinal, Shilajit. Shila comes from Shaila. Shaila, Parvata are all related to the mountains, the stone, the rocks. And each of her manifestations has so many names like Uma, Parvati, Durga, and Parvati is another aspect, name of her. She is Parvati. Her 247th name, Om Shri Padmanayanaye namah swaha. Om Shri, Om Shri Padmanayanaye, Padmanayanaye namah swaha, namah swaha. Om Shri, Om Shri Padmanayanaye, Padmanayanaye namah swaha, namah swaha. Om Shri Padmanayanaye namah swaha. Om Shri Padmanayanaye namah swaha. Om Shreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, whose eyes are like the lotus. Often in poetry, in descriptions, in scriptures, texts, we see, oh, the lotus-eyed ones. The one we very often see the lotus feet, the lotus eye. The Padma is one of the names we've seen for lotus. Nayana is name, means eyes. We have seen Aksha, Kamakshi. Aksha is also eyes. Here Nayana is also eyes. The one whose eyes are lotus shaped. We talk of like slender, like the fish, like different description. Meena Lochani, Kamakshi. Lochani is also another name for eye. So Padma Nayanai, the one whose eyes are lotus, like lotus. Very beautiful. We describe it like almond shaped. This is lotus shaped eyes. And this week's names have all been easy. The next one is also a bit on the easier side. The last one a bit more. 248th name. Om Shri Padmaraga Samaprabhaye namah swaha. Om Shri Padmaraga Samaprabhaye namah swaha. Om Shri, Om Shri Padmaraga, Padmaraga Samaprabhaye, Samaprabhaye namah swaha, namah swaha. Om Shri, Om Shri Padmaraga Samaprabhaye namah swaha. Om Shri Padmaraga Samaprabhaye namah swaha. Om Shri. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who shines like a ruby. We have seen this name Padmaraga earlier. Her 23rd name we saw, Om Shri Padmaraga Shiladarsha Paribhavi Kapola Bhuve Namaswaha, where the Padmaraga, her cheeks shine like the rubies, and the rubies are outdone. I mean, her cheeks outdo the rubies shine. Here, her whole being is described like in the ruby shining, that pinkish reddish hue, that shine, that light from that is, she's like the ruby. Padmaraga, usually Padmaraga refers to the ruby. In modern times, they also equate it to a orangish reddish hue of sapphire, but here Padmaraga traditionally is for the rubies. Sama Prabhayai, Sama is equal, Prabhayai, that shine, that light forth. It's like the ruby. Her 249th name, Om Śreem Pancha-preta-sanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Pancha-preta-sanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem Pancha-preta sanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem Pancha-preta-sanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Pancha-preta-sanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who sits on a seat formed of the 5 bodies of Brahmas. And we've seen these Pancha Brahmas. Sanasthitāyai was one of her earlier names. We saw again her seat is on the 5 beings, the 5 kritis, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara, Sadashiva. So the 5 main activities in the whole of existence, and each activity is ruled by Brahma, another by Vishnu, another by Rudra, Ishvara, Sadashiva. And Preta literally means corpse, dead body. So it's like she's seated on the corpse of these 5 bodies. That's what it literally means. But what it signifies is that Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara, Sadashiva, the 5 who rule the entire, each of these activities, they are like literally corpses without her Shakti. Till she infuses her Shakti into each one of them, they are literally like corpses. They cannot move, they cannot perform, they have the body, but there is no function, no activity. So we have seen every movement is from the Shakti, and without her Shakti, nothing moves and everything is like a corpse. Everything becomes inanimate in that sense. It has a form, name, but there is no movement, no Shakti. With no Shakti, it's as good as a corpse, literally in that sense. And because she is seated there on them, they are able to perform their duties or whatever is given to them, these activities. Until that life animates each body, each being, it becomes almost like inanimate. There is no movement or activity, there's no Shakti. And this gets repeated in several other names. And these are the names of Sri Lalitha today. And we seem to have finished a bit early. There is one sharing I want to read from Amma. And after that, we have time. We are almost like 2:50. I thought we can end the recording and do another recording for the continuous 1 to 2:50 of Sri Lalitha Sahasranamam, like we are doing for the Yagam, but with the namah swaha, all the up to 2:50. And we'll share Amma's recording. We'll end that session and then we'll do the recording. Is that all right with everyone? So even coming to the 5 Brahmas, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara, Sadashiva, like we saw so many deities in each level, all the mantra swarupini, tantra swarupini, yantra swarupini, every form, every Shakti, she governs and rules. And to worship, to have that love for that creator, for the creation, is not given to all. So this is from Amma's Connect with the Divine, Volume 3, from the chapter, Amma, the Divine Mother. If someone has devotion, it is not because of his intelligence or his wisdom, but him having divine grace and blessings in his life. If you are with the divine and see the divine as mother, whatever the divine has will be yours as well. Everything Amma creates is for all of you. When people say Sripuram is Vaikuntham in Bhuloka, heaven on earth, you should all realize that Amma brought Vaikuntham here for you. Vaikuntham is only for Lord Vishnu and Goddess Mahalakshmi. Since the negative energy is all around in Kali Yuga, the goddess decided to come down for humankind and then later decided to bring Vaikuntham here too. Pidam means seat of the divine. You're all able to come here because you have the divine's blessings. If you want to enter someone's house, you need the owner's permission. It does not matter what status you hold, how rich or how poor you are, you still need permission. So imagine how blessed you are to be in the divine's home when you have received her permission in the form of love and grace. Amma talks about every morning you may think, I have so many problems. Instead, you can think, I have the divine as mother. You will not need to worry about anything. If you are under a mango tree, you will get only mangoes. Under a jackfruit tree, only jackfruit. But under the kalpa vriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree, you get everything. Similarly, with the divine as mother, you will get all you need and you do not have to worry about anything. When a cat gives birth, its kittens will take 10 to 15 days before they can open their eyes and fend for themselves. The mother cat goes away to look for food when she is hungry. The kittens are at risk when the mother is away. However, in the case of monkeys, the baby monkey clings to its mother from the moment it is born. The mother monkey is not carrying her baby. It is the little one who is actively clinging on to her, having its security granted. Simply by holding tight onto its mother, the baby monkey reaches the top of the tree. It is able to see and taste everything the mother does. When you get an opportunity to hold on to the divine, to serve, then do it. Now, what we embrace embraces us. Because it is not by your choice, but by divine grace and blessings. If you get a banana, that is good. But if you get an apple, then it is special. Bananas are everywhere, but apples are only available in some places, except places that cultivate apples. In a similar manner, when you get the opportunity to be with the divine and serve the divine, then treasure it. You will learn, think, and do only good. If you're not aware of the divine, there is nothing to guide you. Whatever your mind says, you will do that. But you have the divine in your life, you will be conscious of every thought, word, and action, and be conscious of their consequences and your karma. In Kali Yuga, evil forces will tempt you to engage in negative actions. Being on the spiritual path is very, very important. It is a boon to protect you and make you aware of the divine. Om Namo Narayana. So, this is to have love for the divine is such a special gift, and it is to be really cherished, because that is like the baby monkey clinging on to the mother. The mother goes wherever she goes. The baby, just by holding on to her, goes everywhere, and it's like she takes care of everything. Whatever she gets is also the baby's. And this love for the divine is that bond, that love that helps us bind to the divine, to grow in that path, to be in that path, and to receive all the blessings and the abundance in the path. Let us do the chanting for this week together. Om Shri Chandra, Om Shri cāru-cara-jagan dharāyai namah swaha. Om Shri cāru-cara-jagan dharāyai namah swaha. Om Shri cāru-cara-jagan dharāyai namah swaha. Om Shri carācara-jagan nāthāyai namah swaha. Om Shri carācara-jagan nāthāyai namah swaha. Om Shri carācara-jagan nāthāyai namah swaha. Om Shri Chakra rāja-nikētanāyai namah swaha. Om Shri Chakra rāja-nikētanāyai namah swaha. Om Shri Chakra rāja-nikētanāyai namah swaha. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Om Shri Parvatyai namah swaha. Om Shri Padmanayanayai namah swaha. Om Shri Padmanayanayai namah swaha. Om Shri Padmanayanayai namah swaha. Om Shri Padmaraga-samaprabhayai namah swaha. Om Shri Padmaraga-samaprabhayai namah swaha. Om Shri Padmaraga-samaprabhayai namah swaha. Om Shri Panchapretasanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Om Shri Panchapretasanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Om Shri Panchapretasanāsīnāyai namah swaha. Om Sarvamangala-mangalye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Namah swaha. Let us offer our prayers, our chantings to Sri Lalitha Narayani. Pray to her to bless all of us, all our loved ones, all of humanity, all the sentient beings, the whole being of Mother Earth, Mother Nature, all the worlds and all the beings, to shower her grace and blessings. Om Namo Narayan. Are there any questions? Any questions? If there are no questions, we'll end the session. And but the recording, can we discuss it after we end the session, Bhagya?
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Have we ended the recording? I don't have the saying that we've ended the recording, so I'm just wondering if it was ended.